Okay, the sharpness tools, it's probably one of the most popular filter that created. If you go on a filter forge and search for the sharpness image, something you find with tons of different image filters. Photoshop have it their own, it's have it multiple techniques. If you go on YouTube and search there, you probably find. But because I was creating collection, I says, hey, I need to create my own sharpness tool, kind of, just for fun or for usability. So I created, and I tried to integrate a different techniques of the sharpening inside this effect. So right here you can see we have it radius, amount, intensity, and sharpness, opacity. So let's look inside the filter how it's work. Okay, and right here we have it a little bit different from what you normally see. We have it a sharpness that separating, and notice right here we have it our hue, luminosity, saturation separating, where we have it separate our hues, we're separating our luminosity, and we're separating our saturation. Next, we perform changes. If you move all this stuff, you can see our hue and saturations going directly to the assemble. So all what I want to do in this case, I want to apply just to the luminosity. By applying contrast to the luminosity, we don't affect saturations or a hue effect. On this case, I want to, with my sharpening tool, to preserve those values, because I only want to sharpen to the luminosity, which is the best way to do this without dramatically affecting your image. Okay, so we took our luminosity, we separated, and next, one of the most common things is to do with high pass. However, I want to double kind of use on this, so we'll create a little bit harder sharpness. So we have it sharpened as a component inside the filter forge, which is also from how it's work. I think it does work on high pass as well. And just to emphasize this a little bit more, I created my own with high pass, which is have it radius, because on this currently we do have it some radius modifications in other ones, but I want to compare how it's work with high pass. So I created both sharp and high pass, and we're creating the blend mode where we can switch, or a soft light kind of embed one on top another one. So overall, it's just creating a little bit more kind of sharpness, in kind of enhanced sharpness on our luminosity layer. So after this, with this after blend, and you notice, of course, we can control radius, we can control amount. Notice that both connect to our high pass and sharpness, and also both is the mapped. So if we look right here, our slider control for the radius is going up to 30, because I found 30 is even will be too high. So mostly you maybe even want to go up to 20, but just in case, leave it. So it's meaning from 0 we can modify and we can go up to that high value. Okay, right here we blend them with soft light on both of them. And as we assemble untouched hue and saturation and modified luminosity for our sharpness. Next, we also have another blend, which is going from our original image as a foreground, and we blend this opacity of modified to original filter. This has allowed us not just modify how it's work, it's also applied how much of the sharpness we want to blend with the original image. And of course, we have our output result. So if we look right here, you can see it's amount 1. So if we say amount 10, remember it's not will be just 10 wide. The radius, because we map it, it will be applied to 30, so it's with 3 pixels about. So we can go up to 30 pixels, and you can see how edge become already kind of a little bit, maybe even too much. But again, it is for very large images, maybe it's worked well, but again, we can go back, and we can set to the 3 or 1, it's about that's 1 pixel will be around this way. Okay, amount, how much we want to apply blend before and after. You can see it's quite a bit sharper getting. We have it also intensity and sharpness, opacity. So just overall, it's again, it's kind of creating just additional image, so we can look before, after. And we can go very crazy to apply to the sharpness, and we can modify and see what is happening before and after. And this way I can create my own sharpness on an image without affecting any saturations and colors. And again, it's many other ones, and I think I have it even 3 or 2 other filters which work with differently with sharpness. And this is part which was simulating the sharpness inside the unique tool. I think it's kind of working a good addition to that tool set.